Hello and welcome to the INvets Employer Portal. Thank you so much for wanting to be a part of our platform and use our portal, and hopefully we can get you some good candidates to fill those talent needs that you have. My name is Brian Evans. I am the Outreach and Partnerships Manager for here for INvets. And I just wanted to give you a quick demo on how to use our portal. It's very simple, and I'm sure just you diving in here, you'll probably be able to figure a lot of this out on your own. But you can always use this video as a reference point, especially when you build out your profile and just what kind of content you need to add in there, just in case it takes you a couple weeks and you forget what you wanted to put in there. You can always come back to this video. So here we have our homepage. The homepage here is just kind of a quick glimpse into what it looks like in our system. So down here we have, veterans looking for employment, 728. So we have a lot more in the system than that. However, these are people that have put in their profile that they are actively seeking employment. And this kind of gives you a snapshot of exactly how many people you can get right now, but there's also more that we're going to come at a later date once they leave active duty service. And then you'll be able to look into their profile and see where they fall, either looking for employment right now or in a later date. And then down here, you can see just based off education, depending on what you have for your requirements on education, you can see what that education breakdown looks like. And then preferred industries. So depending on, as an organization, a company, where you fall in those industries, you can see kind of what that talent pool breakdown is going to look like. Up here are the three main fields you'll work out of. So your company profile. So that's the profile that's going to be live on our website when you build it out. It's going to be used so our candidates internally can learn about your company, but it's also something that we can use as a recruiting tool when we're on base, talking to them in person. We can show them companies that we're working with. The candidate pool here is where you're going to actually access that talent pool. So there's over 9,000 currently in the system, and you can use some filters to narrow that search down to find the talent that's right for you, and then posting your jobs. But we're going to start with this company profile here. So the company profile is really easy to use. It's just plugging and chugging some content into these fields here. I want to start with just noting that the first 5 fields, so locations down to about us, those are mandatory to have completed. We know that you're not going to have all the content that we have listed here, so just know that the first 5 fields, locations down to about us, that's all we are requiring you to have in here for you to be on our website. And then everything else is optional. So not everyone's going to have a testimonial, not everyone's going to have a video, and that's fine. The locations piece, so this is for any Indiana locations that you have currently in the state. Those are the ones that we want listed here. If you have locations outside of the state of Indiana, that's not something that you will put into the profile, but definitely let me or someone at INvets know that you have locations elsewhere, so we can just add that internally in your account, so we just know that as an organization that you have options elsewhere. Logo, pretty self-explanatory. Just upload your logo here. There is sometimes there is a slight bug that may happen depending on how your logo is downloaded, where you'll upload a logo that has a clear background and it'll show up with a black box around it. The best way to combat that is to upload a logo with a white background so your logo will display as it should display. Next is the header photo. So this is just the first image that people are going to see when they see your profile. It's kind of that action shot, standalone image that really showcases who you are as an organization. We just want to really capture, the character of your company in this image. And here we have Duke Energy, so we have a line worker on site ready to get the work done. Next is company overview. So the micro statement here is just utilized for when our website will suggest a industry or career path to a candidate, and they see your logo, and it just gives them a little brief sentence about you as a company. And then the meat and potatoes comes down here to this company introduction. So this is going to be in your profile, 1,000 character limit of who you are and what you do as an organization. Link to your official website. So you'll just copy and paste that URL in there. What your industry is and your company size. So that just helps with filtering on the veterans portal, where if they want to filter certain industries or company sizes, they can do that and find your company faster. The last piece of the mandatory section is the About Us. So 2 more photos. And with these images, same as the header photo, we want really good action-oriented images that showcase what it looks like to work for you. So try to avoid any graphics or digital flyers or things like that, like best place to work in 2023. That's not really important to a candidate. They really just want to see what it looks like to work for you. So as many photos as you can put in here of what it looks like to work for you and be a part of your team, those are the images that we're shooting for. About us description, so 1 to 2 paragraphs about the culture of your organization or some other benefits to being an employee of yours. That's the kind of content you want in this section here. Moving on to the optional portion, testimonial. If you have a veteran currently working for you and they really, they have a good story and they really enjoy your company, highlight them here with an image of themselves, their name, military affiliation, and role with the company, and then a statement from them as a veteran. This is what they like most about working for your company. The career paths. So these are pre-built into our website. They're linked to our industry pages on the front-facing portion of the website. So these don't necessarily have to be specific to you, but we want them to be as relevant to you as possible. So when you come into this drop-down menu and you find a company or a career path in here that maybe some of these aren't really exactly what you're hiring for, and that's okay. But if you see something in here that's similar in nature to what you have, go ahead and add that. And then if you have suggestions for more career paths you would like to see in here, you can always send those to me and let me know, because we're always trying to add more and more as we add more company partnerships. But again, this is optional, so you don't have to have any of these, or you can put 1 or 2 or 3. It's up to you. Next is the video. So these videos only work with YouTube since it's a public platform. So if you have a cool YouTube video out there, go ahead and open that video up, copy and paste the URL, throw it in here, and you're all set. And the last thing is the image gallery. So if you have 6 really great photos that showcase what it looks like to work for your company, or just maybe some cool company outings or things that you're doing as an organization that you want to highlight, throw those images in here. If you are a company that doesn't have a lot of photos, that's fine. You don't have to put anything in the image gallery. It's just additional content for you to have. And show you what all this looks like put together. So this is currently live on our website. So we see that we have our logo, that header photo, that's the first image. And you'll notice when you look at all of our company profiles, our website has a style. So it has this kind of cropped edge style to all the photos. So when you select the image that you want, make sure the main piece of the information that you want displayed is in the center, just because those edges will be cropped out. Company overview, testimonial. Your jobs can be posted here as well, and we can do that in the My Job section after this. YouTube video, image gallery images, the About Us section, link to your official website, the About Us paragraph, and then where you're located in the state. So it's going to, if you have multiple locations, you can select which one is your main location, and that's the one it's going to highlight. And that's the profile. A couple of notes to think about when you're doing this. We have had issues in the past with uploading images. Usually the header and the About Us ones are easy to upload, but the image gallery sometimes can be tricky. Make sure your photo isn't too big, and make sure that they're a PNG file and not a JPEG file, because sometimes the resolution is too high and it won't accept it. And if there are images that you really, really like and you can't get them in here for whatever reason, you can always send them to me as an attachment in an email, and I can try to upload them on the back end for you. Another note, you really need to have the location filled out in here, because you can't post jobs without your locations first being in here. That's a common mistake that I've learned on the job, that companies try to do the jobs first and not create the profile. And then they're like, well, why can't I create my job posting until the location's not put in there? So if anything, definitely get that location in there first, but you definitely want to fill out the profile as soon as possible, because the more we can get you visible, especially with social media postings and things like that, the more we can highlight you as a company and what your opportunities look like to our talent pool. One last note about this: as you fill out this information, none of it will be visible on our website until you tell me you're ready for it to be visible. So you'll fill out to the best of your ability, shoot me an email, say, hey, Brian, we filled our profile, we're ready to go live. I'll give it a quick once over to make sure it looks good, and then I'll flip the switch on the back end and let you go live. Once it is live, you can come in here and change things whenever you want, and it'll automatically update to the website. And as always, you can come to me for questions. Next is the candidate section. So we try to make our website as interactive as possible for the employer and the veteran. So the employer or the veterans have their own portal where they can look for jobs and they can look at companies and apply to those jobs. As an employer, you can look at our candidates and post jobs. We highly encourage you looking into the talent pool and not just posting jobs, because a lot of our veterans are, they're about 80% of them are active duty military and they're leaving active duty and they are wanting to start that next chapter in their life. So they're making decisions about where they want to live, what they want to do, what's best for their family. If an employer reaches out to them with a great opportunity, the chances are they're going to want to take that job over applying to other jobs, because having a conversation with you as an employer can go a long way versus just reading a job description and applying online. You'll look at our talent pool here and notice names right away without any of searches. And you'll see as this person has just one piece of information or their name, and this person has a lot. That just simply means that this person has finished their profile and this person is brand new to the system, so they're still filling out that profile. And you can see here where they're located, when they're separating from the military, their education, where in the state that they're willing to move to for the right opportunity, what types of industries they're interested in, and visit their LinkedIn profile. And if you scroll all the way down here, you can see you're viewing 10 out of 9,917 individuals. So when we add those filters, we can scroll down to the bottom and see the total count based off the filter you've added. So depending on what you're looking for and what your industry is or where you're located in the state, that's going to change how you see this talent pool. So say you're located in central Indiana and you are a manufacturing company. So we can come down here to manufacturing, seeking employment. Say you want to find people right now versus people who may be leaving the military in 10 months. So you can put seeking employment, yes. And then we can go ahead and just do a quick search. So now we have a different set of names here. If we scroll down to the bottom, you're viewing 10 out of 43. So these are 43 individuals that are actively seeking employment right now, wanting to be in central Indiana and specifically looking for work in manufacturing. We can see a pretty wide range of qualifications and skill sets. If we view that person in full, we can see their name, their personal contact information, so you can reach out to them directly. Where their military installation at, so Fort Bragg in North Carolina, what their education level is at, when they're EASing, which is when they officially leave the military versus when they're available. You can download their resume, and they can opt to put their military background in here, so you can see what that their pay grade was. So you could easily Google what an E6 in the Army or Navy or Air Force or Marine Corps makes, and so you can see what they're used to having their salary, and then you can click on this and get a brief description of what their responsibility was within that pay grade. And you'll see a lot of different things, a lot of different skill sets, a lot of different interests, education. So depending on what you're looking for as an employer, there's chances are you're going to find a lot of people in here that kind of fit that bill. It's just going to take a little bit of a searching, but I promise you with today's market, it's going to be worth your time. And you can narrow this down even further. You'll notice that when you look at profiles, some may have a resume, some don't. And it's just simply them trying to build out that resume and translate that military lingo into information that a civilian employers can understand. And so then they'll upload that resume. But if you want to narrow that down, you can even search for people who have a resume, and you can do a keyword search. So you can kind of go a little deeper if you're looking for someone with a machinist background or aviation or IT or accounting, HR, whatever it is you're trying to search for, you can throw that keyword in there and narrow that search down even further. And the last thing is your job postings. So we can see here that Duke Energy already has some jobs posted. And there's two ways to post jobs to our site. So if you have a paid Indeed account, you can go ahead and add your Indeed scraping code URL. So, that scraping code that you should have from Indeed that allows you to kind of just auto-populate those jobs into our system. If you prefer to link them to an applicant tracking system or a careers page, or if you wanted to have a very specific kind of hot job or highly skilled job that's harder for you to find, go ahead and come to this new job section here. You can add the job title. The location is going to be the location that you put in your profile earlier. So that's what's going to be in this drop-down menu. And then external URL. So wherever you want the candidate to go to apply, that's the URL that you'll put in that box. So our system doesn't house the application process for you. It simply directs them to where you want them to apply. So if it's an applicant tracking system or a careers page or whatever it is, just put that URL in here. So when they click apply on our site, it's directing them to whatever you put in that box. And then job description, the career path, the same as your company profile. It's going to be those career paths that are already preloaded into our website. Industry, so whatever industry you are. So this helps with the veteran side of the portal. When they're looking at their job board, they can filter jobs based off career paths and industry, so they can find your job postings that way. And then hit submit, and then you'll have your job postings listed down here. So you can see here that they have individual jobs posted, but I always recommend putting a general our careers posting in here. So as an employer, I know that's going to be hard for you to maybe maintain all the careers on other sites that you have them plus our site. So sometimes job postings get filled or they get timed out, and you forget to change those out on our site, and that's okay. So in order to kind of save you some time and some headache, if you wanted to create just an overall general our careers job title, and then the URL that you link to is just your general careers page, and then they can click that and go look at all of your careers and apply to the one that best fits their interest and abilities. And the one note to have on our careers that we have posted in here, when they click on a job posting that you have and they go apply outside of our website, they'll come back to their profile and a pop-up will say, did you apply to that job, yes or no? And they click yes. That will trigger an automated email to you and to us, letting you know that that INvets candidate had applied to the job, just so in case there's an applicant tracking system that has a filter and they get filtered out for whatever reason, they tried to apply, or when they do apply and they get through, you just know that they're coming from us. So it will tell you that they applied if they check that box. And the other thing it does, it takes their candidate profile and it moves over here to this applications field. So when you get those notifications, or if it's been a couple weeks, you want to see if anyone has applied to your jobs but maybe didn't click that box, you can hit this applications tab here and it'll show you all the candidates in our system who've applied to your jobs, and it'll show you their profiles. And that's everything. If you have any questions, again, contact me, Brian Evans. My email is brian@invets.org, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.